Welcome to the BARCast podcast. I'm Salt.
And I'm George.
Yeah, we trying new things, different camera angles this time, getting better every time. Don't forget to continue to let us know your feedback for the BARCast podcast as we develop the BARCast podcast the same way that we developed a bar.
Yeah, for sure. We're doing it on our own. We're not trained professionals, as it were, but we're gonna try and make this work so we can get the content out when we want to in a timely fashion, so people can enjoy it as it happens.
Yeah, and also if you ever got a podcast that you want to record, you know who to hit up George.
Yeah, George and Salt. If you're out there and you got something to say, we feel we can help. So let us know. We can get your voice out there to the masses.
Yeah, and sometimes even your video. Anyway, right, so we're here to talk about bar though, because that's where you're listening, isn't it? You're listening for bar stuff, and it's bar stuff all the time coming. First of all, I don't know when this is going to come out, but I actually remarked to somebody yesterday, I'm surprised that there's no bar event, not even a pop-up for Easter weekend, George.
I honestly didn't think of it. I got so many things going on right now, right?
Yeah.
That I honestly didn't even think about the pop-up for Easter weekend. So we're just pushing through. Now people are coming back to the gym.
Yeah.
After COVID, and the kids are going back to school and so on. So we're trying to get everybody kind of assimilated back into the gym, get the staff busy again. So I really hadn't thought much of it.
Yeah.
My bad for that one, because we really should have had something happening for real.
Mean, 4 days home. Yeah, I know Easter, but Easter Monday people can be like, we could really be working out.
Right. But what I'm going to be working on, like continuing to talk to sponsors and partners, because I think we're still trying to wrap up everything. My idea is to get a 6-month campaign for bar.
Right.
So from June to December, especially this year, we expect that with COVID easing a little bit, we should get some overseas participation. And obviously,
fingers crossed for that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously those persons need a lot more time. You got to save to come to Barbados. You got to book flight. You got to plan holidays and everything. So giving them 6 months where they know about the event, and we're promoting it in all the kind of destinations. What do you call it now? The target markets, right? Yeah. So Europe, England, US, Canada, and some of Latin America. Yeah. Getting the word of Barbados Adventure Race out there to everybody. Hopefully we can see some overseas participation in December.
If you're watching or listening from overseas, it is the most breathtaking obstacle course race out there. Trust me, you've done obstacle course racing before, but you've never done it like you're doing it at bar. So make sure, if you have an inkling of interest, check it out, man.
And I'm doing a little slight rebrand.
Mm-hmm. Slight? You didn't tell me this one.
A little slight rebrand for the overseas people, right? Because adventure racing is actually something completely different to obstacle racing.
Oh, right.
Adventure racing normally takes place over multiple days, multiple disciplines. So one day might be a kayak or a whitewater rafting. The other day might be a mountain bike. The other day might be the run.
Right.
It might be orienteering. So when people from overseas hear adventure racing, they have a particular thing in mind.
Right.
So we're still going to be bar, but we're going to be the Barbados Obstacle Race.
Yeah.
Externally. So when we promote it externally, that's what we're going to call it. So people from overseas know exactly what it is and don't think that they're coming here to do, anything else.
You only come in to run boat and lift up heavy things and jump over things.
And do obstacles that you can't get to.
Yeah, and do some burpees, in other words.
Right.
No, but it will have a lot of fun doing it.
Speaking of which, them gibbons been staying down in my garage for too long.
It's time to bring them out.
It's time to bring out the gibbons, people. So you heard it here first. The gibbons coming for 2022. So in June, when we start trading, come and start trading for early, because gibbons come in 2022.
Guys, so you realize that what sparked him to remember the gibbons was he mentioned the burpees. Because he knows. He knows full well that gibbons equals burpees.
Well, but you got that skill. I saw you do it before.
I've done it before, yeah. I won't let you.
I think I got it once. I really didn't train for it. I managed to get it once. But it's a tough one, but it's one of those things, again, once you see it a few times and you practice it.
You have to take your time with it, especially when you're first learning it.
Yeah, and I think as you train it and the muscles involved start to get stronger, it's much easier than the first time you attempt it, for sure.
Right, yeah. For sure. So Gibbons coming this year for the December bar.
For sure.
All right, good. I hope that pop up as well.
Of course, we got to show people the obstacle before we put it in the race. Otherwise, nobody will come. Yeah. So, we definitely can put it in at least one pop-up. I would say probably at least 2. Yeah. And if you come into the bar outdoor training sessions, it will be in there for you as well. Yeah,
for sure. You got to do that. When those sessions starting, by the way? I know people probably looking forward to hearing this. So
we're going to start the actual outdoor training in June.
In June?
Just like last year. So So we can actually probably be July because we're coast to coast. As soon as coast to coast finishes, the following week we're going to start the bar outdoor training. So we'll get that same 5-6 month lead up that we had last year. And I think being a nerd now, to maximize your VO2 max, it tells you that you need about 6 months worth of preparation to maximize your VO2. So if you start in July and work all the way through, you should be hitting December in peak fitness for sure.
Should be like 52 VO2 max by the time George is finished with you.
At least. But they got men with like genetically high VO2 maxes that aren't actually that good. And then there's people who have low genetically controlled VO2 maxes. People in the like 65, sometimes it's beat people in 90s.
Really?
Yeah, because it's not just about VO2 max; it's about some of the other things as well.
Not to mention that 65 is fairly good, guys.
65 is still pretty good. It's still got to be good. Sure.
Oh yeah, so we lead in sequentially into everything now because you just mentioned that you're going to start the outdoor training after the coast to coast, which is what we're really here to talk about now.
Exactly. So yeah, coast to coast, June 26th. We've had some registrations already.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this event. Like I said, we got some new support this year. We have Simpson Motors coming on with Isuzu. We have Automotive Art coming on. Cure Water is back again.
Thank you very much to SMJ Cure Water. Yeah.
Listen, these guys have been so good as far as they came and they made us a partner from the start. As far as like Dr. Muhammad said, we're family now.
Right.
So he is on board for every event all the way through the calendar.
Nice, love it. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
You got to say thanks for that because I know you guys want to come out there sometimes and work for a little bit more than just satisfaction, and they help to make it. They have to make it possible for sure.
Yeah, so guys, you got to help to keep Cure on the shelves. Then, so when you go, make sure and support the Cure. Yeah,
there's only one way to do it: buy the product. I think it's a good product. I know there's a lot of controversy over there as to how well it works, but as I'm researching more and more, I'm getting convinced. So I think you should buy the product. You should try it before you make a judgment on it. And at the very least, it's water. So
it's water. It can't hurt you, right?
It can't hurt you for real.
Yeah. So thanks to the support to them and Isuzu, Simpson Motors, and Automotive Art, they're going to be providing the trucks on the road this year, is what you're telling me.
Correct. Yeah. So last year, if you remember, we had 5 persons per team, with the 5th person driving support.
Yeah.
So this year we actually have support vehicles on the road in the form of the Isuzu pickups and the Automotive Art guys. And they're going to be there to give you your water, to give you your sports drink, to give you your Nature Valley granola bars, to give you some fruit. And they will also have medical on there as well for you. And they're going to be like I said, they're going to be spread out along the course and they'll be leapfrogging each other all the way down. You're never going to have to go for too long a stretch without seeing a vehicle on the course.
Oh, that would be good and refreshing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's also good too. That means that nobody can got a support vehicle person that could possibly hop out and help them.
I didn't see anything like that last year, though, to be honest. I think people...
I don't know. Some people were so far I don't know how they got there.
Right. Yeah, I think most people stuck to the spirit of the competition last year. But you know what's happening when you put money on the table. It might change people's motivation a little bit. But I don't think barbarians are generally like that. We tend to follow the rules and we tend to go for the challenge more than anything else. And we know that there's always a few people who are going after the podium. The rest of us, we set our own podium and we keep pushing.
So speaking of rules, I see that there are some additional rules. Well, last year was pretty much a good test event. Right. So this time you're putting some more structure around it. No padding?
Well, I mean, you have to make it so that it's going to be uniform for all. Mm-hmm. So there's no padding. Because, once you say people are allowed padding, it's going to go from 2 inches to 20 inches.
Membrane mattress.
Exactly. By the time you hit that, so in normal bar, we don't have no padding.
Right.
We figure out how to carry it. That's part of the obstacle, figuring out how to carry the implement, knowing how to change frequently between partners to make sure you don't get, too tired or too sore or whatever on the road. Yeah. And I think that will help to add to the challenge for sure.
Yeah, so no padding, guys, but it's not impossible to do without padding. For sure, my team did it without padding last year. We didn't study that.
I think there were only 2 teams that really used padding last year. One of them went a little overboard, and one of them just had on like a body armor type suit.
Okay,
but everybody else stuck to the spirit of it. I went through the challenge. I went on the road.
I wouldn't even really accuse them of not sticking to the spirit by bringing the padding either, because you know what. that was just smart of them. That was them thinking
Right.
about what's coming and what would make it as easy as
And
possible.
ain't nobody who say you can't use it, so they just went ahead of it.
Yeah, so that was fair. I mean, I was kind of upset. I didn't tell the rest of the teams, you know what it is what we plan to do, so we could consider it.
Right.
The hell,
They actually asked me, They actually asked me if they could
Oh.
use it, and they said, "Well, there ain't no competition. There ain't nobody getting a disadvantage. So do what you want to do."
Yeah. The next change this year is that everybody's leaving at the same time.
Yeah, everybody's leaving at the same time, and obviously because it's a race, right?
Helter skelter.
Well, yeah, I think that first hill coming out of Bath is gonna, be kind of hectic.
Yeah.
But I think by the time we crest by the time we crest Mount Calvary is gonna be well stretched out. Last year, people took a good hour and a half to get over that hill.
Yeah.
And not to talk about Pot House. So, I think
When I have to go over Green Hill. Green Hill, Mount Calvary.
Yeah,
Okay.
so people stick up for real.
Yeah.
But I think the main thing for these types of small lead-up events is that our partners and sponsors get some exposure through them.
Mm-hmm.
Not only them, but the bar gets exposure. Because, bar, we feel like everybody in Barbados know what bar is, but that's not true yet. People who know about it, really know about it, are really invested in it. But there's still people out there who are yet to discover it. So we want to make as much noise on the road as possible.
Yeah.
And having people kind of strung out along the course didn't really accomplish that. It was still good.
Yeah.
But the people who left at 2:00 in the morning, hardly anybody saw them.
Yeah.
So everybody's going to leave at the same time, and we expect to see a steady procession, especially once you get through St. George and come down through Salters and make your way to town. And it's going to do exactly what happened last year. Wait, what part want to come from?
Yeah.
Want to do what? With a what?
Yeah.
And that is what we want. We want the exposure for Barbados Adventure Race. We want people to be asking questions about it so that we can raise the awareness throughout the island for sure.
And also what I would do is that you would also know exactly where you are in terms of your position on the road.
Correct.
Because when you have people leaving at different times, you kind of estimate, and you left half hour before me,
Right.
so I only go again 15 minutes after you.
That's too much math.
Yeah, too much math on a third brain.
That's too much math for real. So yeah. So this way it is a true competition, but again, there's going to be 3 or 4 teams that are vying for first place, and the rest of us, we're going to be looking at our goal might be just to finish.
And then how he says us, guys.
I could be out there too. I got 2 new cameras that I got. So yeah, the rest of us will be out there trying to finish. Some people are going to have a target time of 6 hours, and so on and so forth. So we got, again, set your own podium, decide what you're doing with your team, commit to it, and go out there and get it done.
You have a start time in mind, though?
4:30.
4:30 a.m. is when you start.
And the good thing about it is that the sun is behind us. So like sometimes I would drive over Pot House at like 5:30 in the evening, and the sun is setting on that side, and it's blinding you, right?
Yeah.
But when the sun's rising from the east, you walk in and it's behind you. It's never in your face. So once you get over Pot House by about 6 o'clock, good.
But in that time of the year, sunrise should be like around 10 to 6, 5 to 6.
Right.
So
So then it's just going. Once you get over Pot House, then it's just 1 foot in front of the next, all the way down the road.
BarbadosAdventureRace.org for registration.
Correct, yeah. And I just got off a call today with a company called Race Sign Up, Run Sign Up. And they are a really, really robust platform. So we're going to move a lot of our subsequent events to that platform. So not this one. I've actually thought about moving it to this one and just having people re-register, because you could do some really cool things on there. You could make donations to the charity. You could get really granular with the information you get. And it is really good. Like even the volunteers, we use a company called Volunteer Local. If you guys are listening, thanks for all the help in the past. When we register volunteers, so I can go on that platform. I could set up jobs by times, by shifts, by everything.
Right.
But that's all they do. So it's expensive.
Yeah.
And these guys have basically the same thing for free on their platform.
Okay.
And the only thing they charge is the processing fees when you actually pay online.
Okay.
So and the processing fees go down as you register per transaction. So here's a pro tip. When you go on there to register, get everybody who know that want to do bar.
Yeah.
And just register all of them on one credit card. It's going to be one set of processing fees. It's not per person, it's per transaction.
Right.
So if for example, I could like get everybody and then register for them on the credit card,
it
will be one
fee.
One fee.
Okay.
So I think that's going to make it a lot more affordable for people. What I'll do is I'll I'll eat the fee for early registration, as it were.
Yeah.
And then if you register late, you'll pay your own transaction fees.
Okay, so you're moving the platform for the registration.
Yeah. The website will still be the website, but when you click register here, it will take you to the race sign up platform. And I think it's so user friendly. I've been on the phone with a guy today. I've been watching the videos. It's going to make life really easy for everybody.
Looking forward to that. As I said, that's growing all the time, Bar. That's innovating and trying to make the process as easy as possible for barbarians.
Exactly. I know we've been trying to become a sports tourism event for the longest time. Mm-hmm. And I think we have some BTMI support this year. But more than that, we thought we were ready, but now we're really, really ready. We're adding some of these other tools and everything. I think like I've said before, if anybody comes from Europe, from the United States, from Canada and do our race, we want them to feel like, this is something I could have done at home. This isn't good for Barbados. This isn't good for the Caribbean. This is just a good event, period.
Yeah, and that's how the word is going to spread. But I feel like that's where the word has been spreading so far, though, because like people that come to do bar realize that, things be running to, it don't start 10, 15 minutes late. Right. Simple things like that, though.
Yeah. I think that, people warm up, especially if you're competing. People are warming up for a particular period of time. They have something in mind when they want to start. I can do X at 10 to the race. I can do X at 5. You have to be reliable. People need to know they can rely on you, especially as the athletes. Maybe the casual open racers aren't as, the
ones that don't know when that will stop and pee in the middle of the race.
Right. So, but the athletes want it to be an athletic event. They don't want to be a jokey thing. If you're training for 6 months, you want it to be something that seems like a real competitive event, and you want everything lined up for you so you can perform at your best.
Okay, so 4:30 we're going to be starting. 4:30 for coast to coast.
Correct.
Speaking of being on time and running things in a timely fashion, when are we going to get the video for the last bar race?
Yes. So the video for the last bar race was slow for a few reasons. One is that everything was locked down after bar, basically. Remember, we went into another lockdown in the not lockdown, but the numbers were very high in December, January, and Sep. So we couldn't get into the studio. The studio was shut.
Right.
So that was one thing. So then after that, it was elections. And all the videographers and editors were tied up with elections. So if you didn't want them men to kind of work for you, you had to pay them over the odds to get the work done. And then, so then it was me, New Year's and thing. And then finally, long story short, we got in the studio and we voiced it properly. Okay. And it looks super, super. So I dropped a little bit of a snippet on the social media page today. Okay. Just to show people that we're ready.
I didn't see that yet. I gotta go on my social media.
Yeah, and I was trying to decide how we're gonna debut the final video. I was thinking, should we rent out Olympus? Should we rent out Lime Grove Cinemas and just have a big viewing? And maybe people should let me know what they think. I would hate to go and rent out Lime Grove, Gawley, and 3 people turn up. Me, you, and Monica, they're watching the whole video. I mean, that don't happen already. So maybe, but the other thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to grow the YouTube channel. Yeah. So I think my preference right now, without any feedback from the community, is that I'm probably going to put it on the YouTube channel first before we do anything else with it.
They have a viewing, almost a screening. I feel that you could do it. Remember the first bar we actually had a screen outside your house at Pot House? Yeah. You do that, man. Do a 5K and come back and sit down and watch it.
Watch that and do like a hike grilling chill or something and drink some beer and watch it. That's not a bad idea,
Let's see.
But I really want
I know you don't really know a lot of people like your place no more. No?
Well, Monica in there to clean up the back and set up everything. Monica was a real outdoorsy person,
Right.
Yeah, I just come home. I just go straight in my bedroom, turn on YouTube. But I think it's not a bad idea. We're looking to do hike, grill, and chill again this year. We're talking to actually Eco Lodge, because we don't obviously Cure Waters come on and they're just taking over everything bar related. But Eco Waters be a partner for us for a long time.
We still want
to do some events with them. So we're going to do a hike, grill, and chill. This is breaking news. We're going to do a hike, grill, and chill from Eco Lodge. Okay. Big hike that will finish there. Yeah. So you could jump in the sauna afterwards. You go in the cool plunge afterwards. There'll be food and drink. DJ, I haven't asked you yet. We were planning to ask you to DJ.
That's for your DJ.
So that's coming as well. So maybe that's the time for the screening as well.
Yeah, you could probably do it then. So it's coast to coast. And then what else we have coming up for the calendar? That's to remind you viewers and listeners.
So
I'll continue to remember, guys, we getting high tech now, right?
Yeah. So after Coast to Coast, it's a 24-hour race.
Right.
And that's August. So then the Amarone 5K Trail Mix, and we're going to do again the Youth Cross Country Challenge.
Nice.
In September. The pop-up start in October, all the way through to the middle of November, and then bar December 3rd and 4th.
With the bar. Any reason why it's gone to the first weekend in December?
Again, there are two reasons. When I came up with an obstacle course race in the first place, I thought that one of the groups we would see a lot of was the soldiers, the BDF.
Yeah.
But then as time went on, we realized that Independence Weekend and the weekend before Independence Weekend, they always had either parades or rehearsals for parades.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've never really seen a big Barbados Defense Force contingent. That's one thing. The second thing is that now that we've opened things up again, fingers crossed, and we're expecting to get some overseas participants, or Independence Weekend happens to be the same as Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
And Americans just do not leave the country on Thanksgiving weekend.
Right.
That's the busiest travel holiday in the States, but it's from going
state
home.
to state.
Exactly.
Right.
So by shifting it, we get to be able to see some of those athletes. And it's also a good time for our tourism market because that's generally a quiet time for arrivals in Barbados. So if we can shift it to what they call the shoulder, people who are coming in for the race can get better room rates. They can get cheaper flights, which again encourages people to come down and do this.
Is that around the same weekend as Run Barbados?
So I spoke to Zari.
Yeah.
And Run Barbados has a date for the 10th. So we're the weekend before, which is really good because now you could come and you could do both events.
Yeah.
If you're coming all the way from Europe, you might as well come for 10 days and do run Barbados Adventure Race and then stay and do some beach, do some gym, do some hiking, and then do Run Barbados and then go on back.
That sounds like a good vacation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could probably even make a package, put some yoga and thing in there. And
yeah, for sure.
So December 3rd and 4th, probably work out the schedule for actual Big Bar, then further back down there, right? So with that right now. Right now,
it's pretty much the same as last year, though. I like the way it ran last year with the singles event culminating day one and then the competitive team culminating day two. The only thing we got to find a space to put is the kids event.
Mini bar.
But yeah, everything's going to look relatively pretty much the same, I think.
Oh, yes, a point I had to make on this podcast. I know we already spoke about the 24-hour race. Know that I said mini bar. All the bar events have a nice little theme. We need a theme for the 24-hour race. So if you are listening or watching right now, maybe you could comment down below, comment on the Instagram, send George a DM and tell him what you think should be a good name for the 24-hour race. I think this name.
It's got to get a name. It can't just be. It can't just be 24-hour race. All them all over the world. We got to come up with our own name. But I really like that concept, and I really hope people come out and support it because when you hear 24 hours, I think initially people thought they had to run for the whole 24 hours. And you don't. You can come to Peg and you can be there for 24 hours. Part of it can be running. Part of it's going to be liming. Part of it can be sleeping. Part might be having a drink.
Yeah.
You decide how much.
He get closer, but he can't say, right? Because it's the podcast.
No, definitely not. It's a PG show, people. But you decide.
It's a family event, guys.
It's a family event. You decide how you want to split up them parts. If you're hardcore and you want to run for 80-90% of it, that's up to you. But I hear one go playing a little one lap or two.
Yeah.
And then come back and, hang out with the people and
I feel like I got the grill up and thing out there at Peg and thing overnight. Especially said it's going to be the night of a full moon as well.
It's a full moon. So you probably get a lot of support because generally on full moon nights there's a lot of hiking as well. So we probably see some people passing through and seeing the activity. I'm really looking forward to that weekend for sure.
I find from parties, full moon parties, the rain already fall on full moon either.
Oh, really?
So, so you should be good for that as well. And just need less night hawks, light towers to put up because you're just running by the moonlight.
Yeah, and it's actually worked out that it's pretty close to Kadooment. So you got all the Kadooment music, you got stage, and you got some music playing. I think it's going to be, I would like to think that it's going to be the same level of success as Coast to Coast.
Well, has your registration for that started, has it?
No, we haven't opened registration for that yet.
Focusing on Coast to Coast. How many more spots left in the Coast to Coast?
We're about halfway there, but you realize we haven't actually properly advertised it yet. You haven't seen a video or really even a flyer for Coast to Coast because we were just waiting for these last couple sponsors to come on board.
Yeah, thank you
definitely
guys.
wanted to make sure that we had something to eat on the road, because when you get into like 3-4 hours, you definitely should be looking to replace not just carbohydrate but protein as well.
Okay.
Right. So this was why we were holding up, but I think we got that wrapped up. So this should be the last week before we get all the flyers and videos and everything done. I will be producing another professional video courtesy of GG Entertainment. I'm looking to put all the videographers out there.
Yeah.
I just can't edit. And, yeah.
This is the next task, man.
Yeah. And then, once people, I think, as with all bar events, there's always those kind of, let me register for this quick before it sell out. And then there's, I ain't doing the, or I can do it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. I'm sure we'll get the 20 team. So
I'm quite sure we will as well, because the hardest part for the Coast to Coast challenge has been last year, showing people that it can be done.
Right.
It's actually easier this year.
Correct.
Without the bucket, with the 2 sandbags, right? So, and those sandbags you say are easier to
know
carry.
that it can be done. Last year, people tell me, George, nobody ain't finished that. That's madness. People tell me it should have been a relay with the sandbag, and that's too hard. And everybody, there was one team that didn't complete.
Yeah,
one, and they actually dropped the thing and competed the rest with 3 people. But everybody got through. So, and I tell you, I continue to believe in the power of human spirit. People can do whatever they put their minds to.
And it's probably going to be easier this year as well, because everybody's starting at the same time. So you know how it is in a race or any competitive environment. When you have people around you, you tend to overperform.
Yeah, they're going to support one another.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Janelle going to be out there encouraging other people to beat she like normal.
Morning. Afternoon, morning, evening, whenever time you watch this, Janelle.
Right.
I hope you're well.
For those of you who don't know, Janelle is on the Barbados Obstacle Racing Federation, and she's a hardcore barbarian from the start.
Yeah.
And she is always positive on the course. Regardless of what's happening, she's always positive. She's always encouraging. So we thank you, Janelle, for your presence, for sure.
I feel like that spirit and that led to her coming third in the Bar Fit Games, actually.
Yes, I was so glad to see her actually competing.
Yeah.
She was out there. She was pushing. You could see her face. She wasn't smiling all the time. Only some of the time. And yeah, she went out and she podiumed for sure.
Yeah. All right. So, anything else we need to get out there for the listeners, the viewers, watchers, the barbarians?
No, we just wanted to bring this to you just to again remind you, because we launched pretty early for bar. We normally, for these smaller events, it's usually 4 weeks notice.
Yeah.
So some people might be wondering if it's still happening. Yes, it's still happening. Why haven't you seen an ad? Well, we were just waiting for a couple sponsors to come on board.
Yeah.
Now Cure has come on and they said they'll take title. Automotive Arts on board. Isuzu's on board. Nature Valley is on board. So we have the support for you. Get online today. Register. Let's get this thing happening.
All right, guys, and don't forget, send your feedback, your comments, let us know. I know my hearing might want doing. That's not that's not the kind of feedback we want here right now. We want to know what y'all think about the podcast, how you're hearing it, how you're liking it, and what you're seeing. And then I also want y'all guys to just register for the events. And if you need to know anything bar related or anything that even like almost adjacent to bar, whether it could be about fitness, nutrition, anything like that, preparations for bar, just hit us up in the DM. Right. If you ask George it directly and George blow you off, it's because he put it in his phone so we can answer it on the podcast. So we can keep the information coming to y'all. We want y'all to get the information you want as well.
Yeah, bar_race on Instagram, Barbados Adventure Race on Facebook, BarbadosAdventureRace.org online.
So don't forget, drop your comments in the bottom here in the comment section. Let me know your feedback, and also let me know what you think about the podcast and what title you have in mind for the Bar 24-hour race.
Sounds good.
Until next time.